places that they must, the buildings are the same, for example, and all of a sudden you find one building in the middle has nothing to do with the whole, like Korba, like some of the places, you know.
Yes. I think it's a national catastrophe, not just in the historic city.
The beauty.
The problem is, I tell you, the problem is that in I think it was in 2008, they've issued a new legislation for the construction, the build construction, which is called قانون البناء الموحد. And this in itself needs to be revised and it needs to be stopped, because everywhere in Cairo now, what you can see is the red bricks wall. Everybody is building, of course, with no consideration whatsoever to aesthetics or occupations or whatever, but even, I don't know why, everyone is building and you always have the side walls are visible and you get to see it's only bricks. I can show you, I have a fantastic view over the city and all I can see is just walls of these red bricks, and at the end of the day I'm supposed to be in the heart of a capital. That is very important. So I've been even thinking and talking with friends that maybe when we will have a parliament, we'll try to see if we can work with them.
To work on this, because you know you are showing the beauty.
I honestly don't know. We have some organization. We have something called the National Organization for Urban Harmony. We have a new ministry now with Dr. Laila Skandar, and I think it's very important to have teams working on the city. At the end of the day, we're just doing initiatives on volunteer basis. We have our lives on the side, we have to do other things, but we just take from our time to speak to officials, speak to decision makers and stop the construction.
But you felt it. You have this feeling.
It's heartbreaking. I mean, I drive my son to his school and we live in Du'i, and we have a fantastic, beautiful area in the old Du'i, and every time I pass by, I see something is being demolished. Next to my house, we have 2 buildings being demolished, and I can imagine what will happen afterwards. Where's the quality of life of citizens? You know, we're talking about history, of course, and respect, but every day I am a citizen, I want to see something that, I want to see a tree. Trees are being cut. If you can do something about what's happening in Heliopolis, I mean, we need oxygen, and we're just, all the trees are being cut in Heliopolis, especially because of security reasons, it seems. But
you can comment on this picture.
No, exactly. This is the skyline. It is exactly the same skyline 100 years ago, where you can see we had old houses with quite particular features like the wind captures, and we get to see the minarets. We were the city of the 1,000 minarets. Now, this building is now finished and people live in it, and it is next to a 15th century mosque, a beautiful Mamluk gem in the heart of the city, and this is what is being constructed next to it. Even though the legislations are not that detailed, but we have legislations at least for heights.
This has to do with my question.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly, and later on, this is another one. This is the mosque that you get to see on the 50 pounds.
Bricks you're talking about.
Yes, and Jama Kujmas al-Ishaqi, also in the 15th century. And this is the kind of construction being built. It doesn't have a taste. It doesn't have a feeling. It is very sad. And not to mention, if we're not talking about aesthetics, how about security? Because how are these, if these things are being built without supervision, then these are explosive bombs in the heart of the city. Then in 5 years we're going to hear like what's happening in Alexandria, that one is being
in Alexandria it is a catastrophe actually. Yes.
It's a pity we're destroying our cities. This is a view of Bab al-Wazir Street in Darb al-Ahmar with beautiful Mashabiya facades, and all this is gone. Now we have Masakin Shabiya.
It is enough just to remember, take a look at Egypt in the past. You can take a look at the pictures, how Egypt looked like, and it was something,
we were
far beyond imagination. How come after all these years it is like this today?
Because there is
now we're almost 90 million.
It has nothing to do with it. See how many people are in London or in Paris. There are millions as well. But there are respect to the rules. Can anyone do something? I remember my dad told me something 35 years ago. In England, a friend of his wanted to divide his house into like 2 apartments, and the municipality refused. Why? Because then he will have to have 2 spots for parking in front of his house, and he only has 1. So meticulous details, and this is what we're lacking. We don't have proper management for the city. Where are the sidewalks? Can anyone tell me? We don't have sidewalks in the city. We don't have basic things like just a street where you can drive, not just walk without harming your cars. So definitely municipalities are not doing their jobs. They are dealing with crises on other levels, but they're not thinking of a long-term plan for the city. And this is Cairo. If we're talking about other cities in the provinces, I haven't been for some time, and I cannot imagine the situation. I hope they're better because it's smaller scale. But if the capital is not taking attention like we're seeing, it's just chaos. You walk in the streets and you see chaos everywhere. So this is interpreted everywhere. In neighborhoods like the Maadi and Zamalek, which are supposed to be the posh areas, and other neighborhoods that are historic, like say the Zainab, Darb al-Ahmar, Gamaliya, and all these areas. So it's
actually, this is very important, very good initiative, and I hope that it can be just adopted by all of us, because this is Egypt.
This is what we're supposed to give to our kids. I mean, what are we giving them? What kind of a city are we transferring to them? A city that is not human? Right, you cannot even enjoy sitting somewhere and watch the scenery happen to you. What is happening is that although we felt that we regained the after the revolution, is that again the public space do not belong to us again, and once
all has to do with us. We have to move, we have to change, we have to if you want to do something, you have to start with yourself. This is
definitely
this is the most
definitely, and that's why we said we're not going to stay silent, and we really need to raise awareness at least on what's happening.
And your initiative is very much appreciated.
Omnya, thank you so much. Thank you very much for joining us. Wishing you the best of luck with this initiative, and we hope that we can all collaborate together for just building our new Egypt.
Dear viewers, by this we come to the end of this segment. It's also the end of this edition of the Breakfast Show on Al TV International. Please stay tuned, as a lot more coming up on our screen. Thank you so much for watching.